Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel and the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel as well. And we're trying to kind of hit a foray into several old school and new school wrestling topics. We've got nearly 1,650 episodes of this available. Also, nearly over 1,800, over 800 on my coaching channel. So. Nearly 2,500 pieces of content across two channels. Please check them out, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Anyway, this is the 14th of March 2012 edition of NXT. We're going through this long form, over 150 episodes already in the archive, and needless to say, this is a slog to get through, but the good news is we're only about 3 months or so away from the kind of different in NXT. Season 7 is where the real fun begins, but Season 6 is where it starts to become a little bit better. Anyway, Titus O'Neil and Darren Young are team members here. They are mocking the Usos in their entrance, and the Usos and Young and O'Neil are your opening match. Basically, this is a tag team centric special edition, and the Usos managed to do some good double teams. Nice bump to the outside by Young, who basically does the old up and over that Shawn Michaels and Ray Stevens and so many others before him used to do. And then we see a cutoff by O'Neil and Young. Several minutes of the cutoff here. Toss back and some basic stuff there. Ultimately doesn't get where he wants to be, and a drop across the leg drop across the shoulders there, and again kind of the drop down, and ultimately getting where he wants to be in that regard. Top rope splash attempted and ultimately hit by the Usos. The Usos continue in their tag team dominance. They kind of take the microphone and say they're willing to face whomever, wherever, whenever, and ultimately O'Reilly and Percy Watson are in the back. They're kind of being making fun of each other, joking around as friends and joshing a little bit, and Percy Watson basically says that he'll teach O'Reilly how to use a basketball, and then there's a little bit of anger and frustration in a confrontation between Tyler Rex and Kurt Hawkins and their adversaries there. Ultimately, the nature of Kurt Hawkins and Percy Watson are here, and ultimately there is a attempted kind of takeoff on the heels, cutting the ring off a little bit. Heels are doing, I won't say more heelish things, but I'll say better than average heelish things. Kicks along the way, and ultimately Tyler Rex with takedowns and getting things going back in his general direction. Doesn't get exactly everything he wants, but does manage to cut things off here. Regal is ultimately upset when Hawkins and friends are kind of going at each other there and end up cheating to win. Caitlyn and Derek Bateman are aligned. Kind of a rekindling between Maxine and Johnny Curtis, and they turn into a mixed tag team match there. Bateman and Caitlyn against Curtis and Maxine up next, and ultimately it's not a deal here. Bateman and Caitlyn are in fact a couple here. Anyway, so we kind of go into that being a mixed tag match, which, I don't know, isn't great. They highlight some of the issues between Tyson Kidd and Michael McGillicuddy. McGillicuddy again comes out and says Kidd doesn't even belong in conversations as a third generation star. Kidd says he's all about heart, and then they brawl around the ringside area. Legacy of being not third generation and not deserving it enough is the main focus here. Then we go to highlights of Raw, wherein they are getting ready for Rock and Cena again. Can't believe that is nearly a decade ago. Anyway, Daniel Bryan makes his way out, or I'm sorry, Johnny Curtis makes his way out. For some reason, they began showing a Daniel Bryan highlight. I think it's because Bateman has ties to Bryan from earlier seasons of NXT. Anyway, the ladies are being separated by the gentlemen. Match breaks down into a bit of a brawl. Gentlemen have at it, and obviously there's history between all of them. Curtis gets a bit of an advantage using some illegal tactics. Bateman fires back with hard shots and is not the least bit worried about anything other than getting everything he needs. Then there is an enziguri by Bateman, and he hits his finish. With about 2 minutes left, the baby faces get the victory, and away they go, and they are happy as the show closes. We will be back with more right after this.